Women's Network is another great group in New York. I'm not currently a member, but I have been a member in the past. She runs it as a really great organization for women in the advertising space. So, there's so many different specialized networking groups as well as generalized networking groups. I can't even begin to count them all.
Those are great, great ideas. And because I think in general, like you said, there's so many opportunities that people just know to look for them, and they can pick and choose, and you have to probably kiss a lot of frogs, but you have to start somewhere. So, I love that idea. It's great. Thank you for sharing all your secrets about networking with us.
Of course.
Now that you're a recruiter, though, I have to ask, because I know so many of these women are working with recruiters and trying to figure out what they're going to do. And, people think go to a recruiter. That's the first thing they want to do is call a recruiter that they'll help you. So what would you say like the top 3 things are that recruiters look for in a candidate?
That is a great question. So I would say in, the several firms that I've been at, it's all the same. It's having a great attitude, being able to speak to your skill set, and having a polished resume with no typos and no grammatical errors that's well formatted. And along with that, a general cover letter. That cover letter should just be in the body of the email, not as a Word attachment. That's definitely not recommended anymore. It just makes it more clunky. So if you have just a targeted cover letter, hi or dear so-and-so, I'm really interested in this job opportunity that I saw you post on LinkedIn, for a content writer. My most recent experience is XYZ. I'm available immediately. Just really just a real, here's who I am, here's what I want. And also saying, and I'd be great for your company because, or I'm really interested in this role because, just really straight and to the point. It doesn't need to be multiple paragraphs. And with that, I was going to suggest also a resource that I really love. There's a woman named Liz Ryan, who is an absolute HR veteran and expert, and she has a website called Human Workplace. On there, you'll find all kinds of tips for resumes, cover letters, career search. So in addition to anything else you might find out there, I would definitely recommend all of your listeners check out her website. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there's so much out there, but when you get someone that's been successful pointing you in a direction, it's much more powerful. So yeah, I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Of course.
So now I would love you to do, if you would, is explain the different types of recruiters that are out there. And so people are a little more educated when they speak to a recruiter and know what questions to ask them.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So there's a lot of different recruiting firms. I mean, just in New York City, there's thousands. So they can range from a single recruiter that, maybe they were at an agency like mine, they broke off and went on their own, to firms like ours, the leading talent firm in the world. So, and everything in between. But what I would say is there are recruiters out there that are very general, meaning they don't have a specialization. So they'll recruit during the day for administrative, marketing, creative, retail, everything all at once. So while our firm, as you mentioned in the beginning, covers all the bases, literally we can pretty much recruit for and staff any type of talent. But the difference is all of our recruiters are highly specialized within their segment. So on my team, we're focused on HR professionals, finance and accounting, customer service, and administrative. So that is all my direct team works on. I have a counterpart, and her team is only creative, marketing, and digital. So I would recommend to the listeners that the firms that have specialized recruiters are generally going to be more focused and more knowledgeable than someone that'll just recruit for anything under the sun. So that would be my recommendation. The other thing is there are firms that are more specialized in temp or direct hire or executive search. So you can also find that out by reading their website. One of the beautiful things with Adecco, besides all the variety of roles we have expertise in placing for over 50 years, is the fact that we do have the ability to place people on a temporary basis, temp to hire or direct hire, as well as executive search. And again, that comes with our specialized recruiters in segmented teams. And that's the type of talent they work with, day in and day out. and they really get to know the market, and they really get to know our clients well. So there's a lot of variety out there, I have to say, and it continues to grow because the talent market is such that companies need recruitment support right now, and we are able to deliver that.
So when you talk about temp to hire, like let's talk about, so these girls are coming out of school, it's their first jobs. Is a temp, is that maybe, what do you think about that? Like they should think about maybe working in a temp situation that gives them exposure. I mean, what are your thoughts?
So what I'd say is a lot of companies now, because turnover has been high in companies and a lot of folks, they stay 6, 12, 18 months in a role and then want to move on. Companies are leaning towards the temp to hire option because it essentially gives both the candidate and the client the experience of working together, making sure it's a mutual fit before bringing someone on their payroll. And, a company like ours, while you're a temp, you are able to earn health benefits, PTO. So you are essentially an Adecco employee on weekly W-2 with direct deposit. So you are an employee of our staffing firm while working for our client, which I think makes it a very comfortable situation. And I would just say that a lot of companies want to do the temp to hire option, but certainly others, are flexible to just hire directly if they feel like it's a good fit. But it's just going to depend on the company and what they're looking for in the talent they're bringing on.
Well, I think it's great too. Yeah, like you said, like you can date before you get married, and since they really don't have a lot of experience coming out of college, it feels like if the companies are open to it, that would be a good way to go. I mean, in terms of strategy for these girls though, like what do you see? Where do you, I don't know if you work with this level, like entry level, or you work with more seasoned professionals.
Well, like, the nice, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the nice thing is we actually can work with all levels because the clients need support, whether it's, talent right out of college or somebody at the more executive search level. So it actually is very welcoming for anyone that's a recent grad that has those skills ready to bring it to the world.
So you would say for their job search right now, as they're looking, they should reach out to recruiters. Like what other things do you think you've seen that's, kind of works for people today? Because it changes all the time.
Oh, absolutely. So, recruiters are one way. I also highly recommend that everyone has a very polished LinkedIn profile. So what I mean by that is a professional photo. That's the first thing people are going to see. Your headline, that's got to be related to what you're searching, what you're ideally searching for, what your talent is. And then having a summary paragraph that talks about, your different skills. You can put them in bullet points, but think of your LinkedIn profile as your online resume. And hiring managers are constantly using LinkedIn as a way to find talent. Even if you don't see them viewing your profile, they can use the LinkedIn recruiter platform and they can do searches on different types of talent, years of experience, where they went to college, all these things. And then they'll reach out through an in-mail or a connection request. So I can't stress enough in 2020 how important having a very clean, polished LinkedIn profile is for any type of career that you're in.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me how many of these women that I work with still don't have their LinkedIn stuff, figured out. So it's good to know. I'm glad you're talking about it right now because it's like if you're not on there, you don't exist, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, you absolutely have to be on there.
Okay.
And check your messages every day because there's nothing worse than if a recruiter reaches out to you and you don't check your messages for days or weeks, and then guess what? They move on. So I also recommend you have to check the message function at least every day.
I am so with you, girlfriend. Like a lot of people say, oh, I don't check my LinkedIn that often. Okay, well, it also goes to your email. Hello. So,
and that's true. You can turn that on or off, but yeah, you can also do that. So there's no reason you should miss any messages because they can be very, very key.
You got to be on it, sis. On it. All right. So we have to wrap up, unfortunately, because there's just so much more I feel like you could add for these young women. We're gonna have to do an event together or something, and you can come and show your stuff. But last but not least, one piece of advice that you would offer these young women as they launch?
Well, I would just say, in really getting into your job search, I mean, think about every option, right? So there's recruiters, there's your alumni network, there's LinkedIn, as we just talked about, and just try all of those options. And with LinkedIn, it's very important to add, as many quality connections as you can, because the more you have, the better search results people have looking for you, and what you're good at. So I think that's super important. And then just back to my comment about not having any fear, just go for it and build your network, one day at a time, one person at a time.
Love that. All right, everybody, you heard it here from Sarah Zambuto, the networking queen, okay? And thank you, Sarah. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for bringing all this value and adding your secrets, giving us all of your secrets. So amazing. I know how busy you are, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to be with us on the Hero Whispers. So thank you.
It's my pleasure. And if anyone wants to reach out and connect on LinkedIn, I'm more than happy to. So please feel free to drop me a connection request.
Yeah, you guys better connect. That is the least you could do with Miss Sarah Zambuto. She is the beyond networked out there. So, okay, listeners, thanks again for being with us on the Hero Whispers. And remember what I love how she put that. Build your network one day at a time. I mean, you can do anything for one day. So go for it. Until next time, peace and love.